Welcome student on another video lecture on topic biosynthetic pathway. So biosynthesis of primary metabolites. The living plants are solar powered biochemical and biosynthetic laboratory which manufactures both primary and secondary metabolites from air, water, mineral and sunlight. So the plants use air, water, mineral and sunlight, and by the process of photosynthesis they will prepare primary metabolites, and from that primary metabolites secondary metabolites are prepared or manufactured by the plant by different biosynthetic pathways. Primary metabolites like sugar, amino acid, fatty acids that are needed for general growth, physiological development of plant which distribute in nature and also utilized by food by as a food by man. So these primary metabolites they generally contains carbohydrate, amino acid and fatty acid, and they are required for general growth and development of the plant, and also when the plants are eaten by the man they will be used as a food. Now secondary metabolites such as alkaloid, glycosides, flavonoid, volatile oils are biosynthetically derived from primary metabolites. So from these primary metabolites, that is carbohydrate, amino acid, fatty acid, secondary metabolites are produced by the plant which includes alkaloid, glycoside, flavonoid, volatile oil, and these are used for various therapeutic effect or medicinal use of that particular plant. Biosynthetic reactions are replica of common organic reactions like catalytic reaction, phosphorylation. Phosphorylation means addition of phosphoryl group to an organic compound, and dephosphorylation means removal of phosphoryl group PO3 from the organic compound. Both these reactions they are catalyzed by enzymes such as kinase and phosphoryl transferase. These are the enzymes which catalyze the phosphorylation reaction. After that, hydride transfer, most of the transition elements they will form hydride complexes, and these are more significant in case of catalytic reaction and synthetic reaction. Oxidation means loss of electron from one or more molecule of electrons will loss from one or more atom or molecule, that is known as oxidation reaction. Elimination reaction means elimination of two substituents will occur from a molecule or atom, and that substitution maybe takes place in one or two steps. If the substitution of two molecules is taken place in one state, then it is known as biomolecular elimination, and that reaction is known as E2 reaction. Whereas when the elimination of molecule or compound will take place from two steps, the unimolecular elimination, then it is a E1 reaction. After that, acylation means addition of acyl group. It is a electrophilic aromatic substitution reaction, and here the addition of acyl group to organic compound will takes place in case of acylation. Alkylation, transfer of alkyl group from one molecule to another, that reaction is known as alkylation, and this alkylation is carried out in the or the transfer of alkyl group will takes place in the form of free radical or carbanion ion. And reduction means gain of electron, when there will be the gain of one or more molecule of electron from one or more molecule of atom, or then it is known as a reduction reaction. Condensation means combination of one or more molecule to form a single large molecule, and with loss of small molecules such as water or many times methanol or hydrogen chloride, all these are also get removed. If the condensation is occur between two parts of same molecule, then it is known as intramolecular condensation, and if the condensation will takes place between two separate molecules, then it is known as intramolecular condensation. After that, rearrangement reaction. Rearrangement reaction means it is a class of organic reaction in which molecules carbon skeleton is rearranged. So there will be the skeleton of that carbon skeleton of that molecule that will get rearranged in rearrangement reaction, and it give its original molecule a structural isomer. So these are the different reactions by which are occur in biosynthetic pathways. Now metabolism and metabolic pathway. Cell metabolism, the process by which living cell process nutrient molecule and living state. So the living cell which process the nutrient molecule, that is known as cell metabolism. Metabolic pathway, a complete set of chemical reaction that occur in living cell, allowing the cell to grow, reproduce, maintain their structure and respond to their environments. So metabolic pathway is a complete set of chemical reaction, and that reactions they are occur in the cell. So all the living cells they are performing this metabolic pathway by series of chemical reaction, and due to that metabolic pathway that the cell will allow to grow, the cell will get reproduced, cell will maintain their structure and respond to their environment. Living cell require energy for biosynthesis, transport of nutrient, motility and maintenance. So why this living cell do all these metabolic process? Because it requires energy. And for what purpose the energy is required? It is required for biosynthesis of different molecules, transport of nutrient from one place to another, motility and maintenance of that cell. It requires energy. Energy is obtained from catabolism of carbon compound, that is carbohydrate. So the energy which is required to perform all the functions by the cell, it requires energy, and that energy is obtained from the catabolism of carbon compound, that is carbohydrate. When catabolism of carbohydrate will take place, it will release the energy. Carbohydrates are synthesized from CO2 and H2O in presence of light by the process of photosynthesis. So by using the process of photosynthesis, these carbohydrates are synthesized by the plant, and for that process they will utilize carbon dioxide and water and in presence of light. Now types of metabolism. First one is catabolism. Catabolism is also a metabolic reaction in cell. That catabolism reaction, it is a metabolic reaction which is occur in the cell, and that degrade a substrate into a smaller simpler product. So substrate will be degraded into a smaller simpler product in case of catabolism, and from glucose it will convert CO2, it will produce energy to the cell. So the process of catabolism, it will produce energy to the cell to perform various functions. Anabolism, it is a metabolic reaction that results in synthesis of large, more complex molecule. So here there will be the broken down of the molecule into smaller unit will take place and the energy is produced, whereas in case of anabolism, there will be formation of large complex molecule, and to form that large complex molecule it requires energy. That is, glucose is converted to glycogen, it requires energy for that, whereas here the energy is produced due to broken down of the molecule or substrate into smaller product. So these are the two processes of metabolism. First one is catabolism and second one is anabolism. Now metabolites. Metabolites are the intermediates or products of metabolism. So what are the metabolites? These are produced during the different biosynthetic pathways or during the process of catabolism or anabolism or metabolism. The metabolites are the intermediates, or these are the products of metabolism. Due to metabolism, these products are produced, or these are act as an intermediate. The term metabolite is usually restricted to small molecule. So metabolite, when we say the metabolite, then it will be a small molecule. A primary metabolite is directly involved in normal growth, development and reproduction. So primary or main function of primary metabolite is normal growth of the plant, development of the plant, and it will also helpful in reproduction process. Whereas secondary metabolite is not directly involved in those process, but usually has important ecological function. So secondary metabolite, it is not involved in growth, development, reproduction process of the plant, but it is having some important functions, that is it will give some therapeutic effect, and due to that it is having some medicinal values, and it is used in treatment of diseases. Now difference between primary and secondary metabolites. Primary metabolites, they are involved in normal growth, development and reproduction, whereas secondary metabolites, they are not directly involved in the normal growth, development and reproduction. Here is the same, that is primary metabolites function is normal growth, development and reproduction, but secondary metabolites, they are not involved in that growth, development and reproduction. Example of primary metabolites are carbohydrate, proteins and fats. Example of secondary metabolites: alkaloid, tannin, resin, gums, latex. All these are the secondary metabolites. They are not poisonous. Some of these compounds are poisonous in nature. Alkaloids, they are very bitter in taste, and sometimes they are poisonous in nature. So the secondary metabolites which are produced from primary metabolites, they may be poisonous in nature, but the primary metabolites, they will never poisonous in nature. So this is about the difference between primary and secondary metabolites. Now the biosynthetic pathway for secondary metabolites, it involves three basic mechanisms. First one is shikimic acid pathway, acetate malonate pathway, acetate malonate pathway. So all these are the three basic pathways, biosynthetic pathways, which are followed or used by the plant to produce or to manufacture secondary metabolites. In that, first one is shikimic acid. Shikimic acid is commonly known as its anionic or form or shikimate. It is a cyclohexane. You can see here the structure. It is a hexane ring is there. This one is the hexane ring, cyclohexane, cyclic compound, and it is cyclitol or cyclohexane carboxylic acid. So this one is the carboxylic acid, double bond O is there, COOH. So it is a cyclohexane carboxylic acid. Its name comes from Japanese flower shikimi. So shikimic acid, it is its name is come from a flower, and that flower is a Japanese flower, and the Japanese star anise Illyricum isatum, from which it was first isolated in 1885 by John Frederick Ekman. So first it is isolated in year 1885, and the name shikimic acid is given from the flower, and which is a Japanese flower. The elucidation of its structure was made nearly 15 years later. So after discovery of this shikimic acid, but its structural elucidation is made nearly after 50 years of its discovery. Shikimic acid is also the glycoside part of some hydrolyzable tannins. So it is a glycoside part of hydrolyzable tannins. Hydrolyzable tannins are those tannins which on acidic or enzymatic hydrolysis, they will produce gallic or ellagic acid. Gallic or ellagic acid are produced on acidic or enzymatic hydrolysis. They are known as hydrolyzable tannin, and the shikimic acid is a glycoside part of that hydrolyzable tannin. Now shikimic acid pathway is a key intermediate from carbohydrate for biosynthesis of C6C3 units, that is phenyl propane derivative. So it is a key intermediate from the carbohydrate. When we see the carbohydrate biosynthesis and glycolysis cycle, and from that when the amino acids are produced from the carbohydrates, for the biosynthesis of C6C3 units, that is phenyl propane derivative is produced from that carbohydrate. In that shikimic acid is a key intermediate. Shikimic acid pathway converts simple carbohydrate precursor derived from glycolysis and the pentose phosphate pathway to the aromatic amino acids. So, from carbohydrate precursors which are derived from glycolysis cycle, we have seen that how the carbohydrates are produced. So the glycolysis is a process or cycle which is used for formation of that carbohydrate precursor, and these carbohydrate precursors which are produced from glycolysis or pentose phosphate pathway, they will convert it to aromatic amino acid. So formation or manufacture of amino acids from carbohydrate precursor, in that shikimic acid is an intermediate. So that pathway is known as shikimic acid pathway because it is an intermediate for between the conversion of carbohydrate precursor to aromatic amino acid. Shikimic pathway is a 7-step metabolic route used by bacteria, fungi, algae, parasite and plant for biosynthesis of aromatic amino acid. So this shikimic pathway is a 7-step metabolic route. The metabolic route which is made up of 7 steps, and that route is followed by bacteria, fungi, algae, parasite and some plants are also biosynthesis these aromatic amino acids from carbohydrate precursors by different 7-step metabolic route. This pathway is not found in animals, therefore phenylalanine, tryptophan are represented as essential amino acid that must be obtained from animals' diet. So this pathway, you cannot find this pathway, that is shikimic acid pathway, in animal, but it is found in the plant. So the phenylalanine and tryptophan, these are the essential amino acids which are required by the animal, but these are not produced in animal because this pathway is not found in animal. But these are the essential amino acids, and to get that requirement of essential amino acid, it is from the diet. That diet includes the plant, and when the plants are eaten by the animal, they will get that tryptophan and phenylalanine. Animals can synthesize tyrosine from phenylalanine, therefore it is not an essential amino acid. So tryptophan and phenylalanine is the essential amino acid, but tyrosine is not essential amino acid because it can be synthesized from phenylalanine by the animals, and therefore it is not essential except for those individuals which are unable to hydroxylate phenylalanine to tyrosine. So those individuals which cannot convert that phenylalanine to tyrosine by using that enzyme hydroxylate, for that tyrosine is also essential amino acid, whereas for others it is not essential amino acid because it can be converted from phenylalanine to tyrosine. Now the first step in pathway of that shikimic acid pathway, the starting material is phosphoenol pyruvic acid is react with erythrose 4-phosphate. So phosphoenol pyruvic acid and erythrose 4-phosphate will react. It will form 2-keto 3-deoxy 7-phosphoglucoheptonic acid in a reaction which is catalyzed by enzyme DAHP synthase, means 3-deoxy D-arabinoheptanoate 7-phosphate synthase enzyme. That enzyme will convert when phosphoenol pyruvic acid is react with erythrose 4-phosphate by using enzyme DAHP, that is 3-deoxy 3-arabinoheptanoate 7-phosphate enzyme, that will catalyze the reaction of phosphoenol pyruvic acid and erythrose 4-phosphate, and it will result into formation of 2-keto 3-deoxy 7-phospho D-glucoheptonic acid. So here When these two will react, it will form 2-keto-3-deoxy-7-phosphor-D-glucoheptonic acid, and this is the structure of that it will produce. Now 2-keto-3-deoxy-7-phosphoglucoheptonic acid is then transformed to 3-dehydroquinone in a reaction catalyzed by dehydroquinone synthase enzyme. So these 2-keto-3-deoxy-7-phosphor-D-glucoheptonic acid is now converted to 3-hydroquinic acid, and that conversion is catalyzed by enzyme at dehydroquinone synthase. Although this reaction required nicotinamide adenine dinucleotide as a cofactor, this reaction requires NAD, that is nicotinamide adenine dinucleotide, as a cofactor, but the enzyme mechanism regenerates it and resulting in the net use of no NAD. So NAD is as such it is required, but the enzymatic mechanism regenerates it, and so there will be no use of NAD. Now dehydroquinic acid is dehydrated to 3-dehydroshikimic acid by the enzyme 3-hydroquinone dehydrase. So 3-dehydroquinone dehydrase enzyme which catalyzes the conversion of 3-dehydroxyquinic acid to 3-dehydroshikimic acid. Here the intermediate shikimic acid is going to produce. So quinic acid is converted into shikimic acid. You can see here the quinic acid, dehydroquinic acid is now converted into shikimic acid, and that shikimic acid is a intermediate. Now that dehydroshikimic acid is converted into shikimic acid. Now it will reduce to shikimic acid by enzyme shikimate dehydrogenase, which uses nicotinamide adenine dinucleotide phosphate NADPH as a cofactor. Now that 3-dehydroshikimic acid, it is converted into or reduced to shikimic acid. Here it will be reduced to shikimic acid, and for that enzyme which is required, that is shikimate dehydrogenase enzyme is required for reduction to shikimic acid, and that also uses nicotinamide adenine dinucleotide phosphate as a cofactor. The next enzyme involved in shikimate kinase as an enzyme that catalyzes the ATP dependent phosphorylation of shikimate to form shikimate 3-phosphate. Now here the shikimic acid is produced. From that shikimic acid, now shikimic acid 3-phosphate is produced. And how it is produced? It is produced by enzyme that catalyzes ATP dependent phosphorylation. Phosphorylation process will occur. Here you can see PO3 is attached at this position. So phosphorylation will occur, and that phosphorylation is ATP dependent, and due to which now the shikimic acid is converted into shikimic acid 3-phosphate. Now that shikimic acid 3-phosphate is then coupled with phosphoenol pyruvate to give 5-enol pyruvyl shikimate 3-phosphate. Now from that it will produce a phosphoenol pyruvate to give 5-enol pyruvic shikimate 3-phosphate via enzyme 5-enol pyruvyl shikimate 3-phosphate. So EPSP is synthetase is the enzyme, and then 5-enol pyruvyl shikimate 3-phosphate is transferred into corsimate by corsimate synthetase. So corsimic acid is produced from that 5-enol pyruvyl shikimate 3-phosphate by using EPSP. SPA synthase is the enzyme which is used for that conversion, and now that 5-enol pyruvyl shikimate 3-phosphate is converted into coarsemate, and that for that reaction the enzyme required is coarsemate synthase. Here you can find coarcemic acid is produced. Now that coarcemic acid, the prophenic acid is then synthesized by Clancian rearrangement of coarsemate. Rearrangement reaction will take place in Clancian rearrangement of coarsemate by coarsemate mutase, and coarcemic acid will converted into prophenic acid. Prophenic acid is synthesized from coarsemate or coarcemic acid. Now prophenic acid is produced from coarcemic acid. Now that prophenic acid is converted to phenyl pyruvic acid and p-hydroxyphenyl pyruvic acid. It is oxidatively decarboxylation. Decarboxylation will occur, and with the retention of hydroxyl group is retained, and decarboxylation will occur, and that prophenic acid it is converted into phenyl pyruvic acid and p-hydroxyphenyl pyruvic acid, and from that phenyl pyruvic acid and p-hydroxyphenyl pyruvic acid it will form phenylalanine and tyrosines. These are the aromatic amino acids which are produced from carbohydrate precursors. These carbohydrate precursors, they are obtained from glycolysis and or pentose phosphate reaction, and that will converted into aromatic amino acid, and the intermediate of that pathway is shikimic acid, and hence the pathway is known as shikimic acid pathway. So this is about the shikimic acid pathway. If you like my video, please press the like button and subscribe my channel. Thank you.